Sam is the best date whisperer, but loses her touch after her parents' divorce. She blames her dad's tennis coach, Matt. To prove him wrong, she makes a risky bet with him when her job is on the line. Jeannie is on a date with James, who wants to take her hiking in Alaska. He describes the pine forests and how the sunlight falls on them. Jeannie keeps blushing while Sam complains about how boring he is through her earpiece. Jeannie likes him, but Sam thinks there's a lot of family trauma from his mom's side. Sam is sure he will dump her soon, but Jeannie agrees to another date. Sam keeps asking Jeannie to trust her date whispering instincts, but Jeannie ignores her. James loves how beautiful Jeannie looks and kisses her. Jeannie gets irritated by Sam's constant ranting in her ears and excuses herself. Jeannie fires Sam and doesn't think she's the best date whisperer like everyone claims. Sam's boss, Brianna, wonders why she got fired again. Sam believes she probably saved Jeannie from a serial slayer since he wanted to take her to a pine forest. Brianna reminds her that James is safe and a park ranger. She also needs Sam to take her job seriously. Her company, Love and Whispers, has built a reputation where people rely on them for the best live dating coaching. Sam used to be their top whisperer, and Brianna thinks this has something to do with her parents' recent divorce. She gives Sam one more chance and threatens to fire her if her next client doesn't get their soulmate in their standard 3 dates. Her best friend Jen thinks Brianna has a point, and Sam can't afford to lose this job. Sam feels frustrated with all these guys and is very confused about why she's not doing well. Jen asks her to recover by relaxing at her dad's engagement party that night. Sam feels it's happening too fast since he was married to her mom 6 months ago. Her mom is now in Florida with her new boyfriend, and her dad is getting engaged to a fashion designer. Jen knows that in such a win-win situation, only Sam is unhappy. Jen still promises to be with her throughout. Sam's dad, Don, asks her to talk to his fiancée, Frankie. Jen worships his fashion sense, but Sam is desperate to get a drink first. Matt cuts Sam in the line to get drinks for the grooms. He asks for an apple rhubarb cooler, but the waiter at the counter doesn't know how to make it. Matt explains the ingredients to him, but Sam feels it should have syrup instead of a ginger stem as he said. They argue about who is right, and Matt wants to bet on it. They want each other to consume the whole jar of the wrong ingredient if they lose the bet. Jen looks it up, and they know Sam was right. Matt wants to double the bet, but Sam knows he's the best man and wants to avoid him. Sam keeps sitting in her spot even after Jen and Don try to drag her to the dance floor. Matt wants to bet on the DJ's next song, but Sam knows he's only a sore loser. She thinks he's a terrible tennis instructor because her dad is still bad at the sport. She knows from his outfit that he lacks confidence, but is overly competitive. She embarrasses him by pointing out the hummus on his shoe and knows he's not detail-oriented, but she mostly hates him because he convinced her dad to leave her mom. Matt knows her as the love swindler who gave his sister a horrible package. Sam stands up for her work and claims their premium package has helped hundreds of couples. Matt still feels they're puppeteers who leave people on their own after a while. She claims they create love, but he doesn't think she understands it. Matt explains that he only told Don to follow his heart and introduced him to his uncle Frankie. He asks Sam to see how happy they are now and thinks that is real love. He wants her to prove that she understands love and wants her next client to truly confess love. She agrees to bet on it but wants him to back out of this wedding if she wins. He agrees if she makes sure his couple's tennis lessons are a part of her company's premium package. He also needs ad space on their podcast for a year. They're both fired up to win the bet at any cost. This will surely go well. Jen doesn't think she should have made a bet when her job is on the line. She knows Sam only finds Matt annoying because she blames him for splitting her parents. Jen just hopes her next client is crazy enough to fall in love in 3 dates. Sam shows Millie her presentation, who wonders what will happen if the guy doesn't like her back. Sam thinks she's amazing, but Millie doesn't know how to talk to men. Sam still feels she deserves her dream man and assures her that she's worth it. Matt turns up at her office because he can't simply take Sam's word that her client fell in love. She is mad at him for showing up at her workplace, but Brianna interrupts them and asks about Matt. He claims he's the intern, and Sam plays along. Matt pretends he decided to go to college again to switch careers. He is apparently assigned to shadow Max, but asks Brianna to let him know if she needs anything. Sam doesn't understand why Brianna is flirting with him, but takes Matt along for her meeting. She wants Mila to answer a few questions to understand her relationship goals better. Millie seems hesitant about what she wants, but Matt encourages her to be bold. She gets geared up and confidently asserts that she wants a marriage and kids. Millie has a crush on Wyatt, who builds furniture. She hasn't met him yet, but but read an article about him online. Sam feels they can still use their first date as a meet cute. Millie hands over the article and feels they think she's not good enough for him. She wants to leave, but Sam assures her they can get her dream man. Millie feels conscious in a dress, but Sam is confident about the skills of their makeover team. She gives Millie an earpiece and asks her to not be nervous. She wants Millie to go inside and look around. Sam feels Matt is being too encouraging for someone who can lose this bet if Millie finds love. Matt claims he's still a sucker for romance. Millie bumps into Wyatt and starts fumbling. She forgets her name, but Sam encourages her to ask about the nightstand for her father. When Wyatt asks about her dad's preferred style, Millie follows Sam's instructions to calmly carry on the conversation. Matt thinks Millie should hold his hand, but Sam knows it's too soon. She doesn't like Matt disturbing her while she works and pretending he knows everything. They seem to have wavered from the nightstand, and Wyatt is showing Millie his most expensive table. Sam feels disappointed in him already and thinks he's in it for the sale. Matt feels there's nothing wrong with that, because Wyatt still thinks of Millie as a customer. Sam asks Matt to take 3 steps back so she can focus on helping Millie. Sam asks Millie to quote a high number for the table and pretend she likes challenges. She also asks Millie to put her hand on him and gently flirt. This throws Wyatt off, and Millie also gets nervous again. Sam asks her to casually walk to the car, but she bumps her head on a lamp. Sam still thinks they can save the situation, and knows Wyatt is getting nervous around her. She hopes Wyatt does what she wants, and he asks for her number as expected. They fix a date to meet again, and Sam already feels proud. Jen asks about how it went with Matt because Brianna hasn't stopped talking about him. Sam finds him very annoying because he says things enthusiastically without thinking. Jen also feels Sam tends to overcomplicate things. She asks Sam to call off the bet if it's too much, but Sam wants Matt to pay for ruining her family. She feels he pushes people to make big decisions without worrying about consequences. Jen points out that her dad is much happier, but Sam is in denial and keeps blaming Matt. She gets annoyed by Sam and Dawn's house because they're both there for their best man-woman dress fitting. Matt challenges Sam to a game, and she only plays along to shut him up. Surely she must hate having fun sometimes. They love how great Dawn looks and start trying on their outfit. Sam is worried about looking like a Barbie, but Matt wonders about Millie's next date. Sam refuses to let him come for it since he's a wild card for her. She thinks date whispering is a specific sense, and he ruins it by being annoying. Dawn thinks they look amazing, but can tell something is bothering Sam. She claims she's late for a work meeting, and thinks Matt needs to stop giving people his cool guy advice about the importance of fun. Joe Law, a tabloid writer, followed Matt's advice and stood up to her boss. They fired her, and she's worried about how she will support her kids. She asks Matt to fix this, because she can ruin his reputation at the tennis club. Sam finds Matt in Brienne's office and takes him outside. She knows she will be in a lot of trouble if Brienne learns about their bet. Matt admits that he messed up with his tennis client, Joe. Sam is distracted and keeps making him hold things like an intern so Brienne feels they're working. Matt is worried about his career and asks Sam if he can get the ad space he asked for. Sam doesn't believe he's asking for a down payment on a bet he hasn't even won. She reminds him she asked him to stop meddling and pushing people to do things. She knew this would blow up in his face one day. He still feels she will help him, so she gets more frustrated. She decides to leave alone for Millie's hiking date with Wyatt. Millie asks about Matt, but Sam makes an excuse about him doing paperwork. Sam encourages Millie for this date and assures her she will be there throughout. Sam pretends to birdwatch when Wyatt turns up and makes fun of his scooter. Millie hears only a part of it and is in awe of how he doesn't drive to reduce carbon footprint. Wyatt explains that he takes this hike once a week, while Millie bumps into a tree. Sam asks her to laugh it off, but Millie makes a joke about bark and bite. This seems like a bad idea to Sam, but Wyatt, thankfully, has a sense of humor. Matt pretends to be a car salesman, Bob, who used to date Millie. He praises her for being crazy and wild. As Wyatt and Millie get awkward, Sam jumps in and pretends to be Bob's girlfriend. She claims Millie is their neighbor and tries to stop Matt from saying anything stupid. She claims Bob had a bad reaction from the dentist and forces him to leave them alone. Sam asks Millie to keep the conversation going for 5 minutes till she deals with Matt. He now desperately needs the ad space, even if it's not directly in Sam's control. He knows Sam already hates Wyatt, so losing this bet shouldn't be an issue. Sam denies it, but Matt has read her files on him. As expected, Sam has described Wyatt as pretentious, manipulative, and phony in her file. Matt doesn't think Sam should pass judgment so easily after one meeting with Wyatt. She has some excuses up her sleeve and thinks it's pretentious to drive a scooter. But she knows she needs Millie and Wyatt to work out since her job is on the line. She promises to help Jo get her job back if Matt backs off and lets her save this date. She asks him to come over to her place later so they can discuss details. Jen feels Sam is warming up to Matt if she offers to whisper for his client. Sam points out he is still her enemy, but she can keep her job and him off her back if she helps him. Matt thinks Sam is too serious and uptight for eating pizza with a knife. Seriously, can't argue with that, but he knows Sam was right about his client Jo, who just wants her job back now. She keeps calling her former employer and is not calm at all under pressure. Sam is confident about getting her job back and just needs some details from Jo. She thinks the same principles of dating apply in this situation. Matt also realizes there might be some science to what she does. He remembers her mentioning her job is on the line. Sam explains that her work is suffering because she's not in a good place, and Brianna has threatened to fire her. Matt feels she really must want him out of the wedding if she placed such a bet at this time. He discusses his tennis career while helping her with the dishes. He wonders if her work has been suffering because of her parents' split. Sam pretends to understand. He doesn't want to interfere in their relationship. While that is noble of her, it pivots the conversation. Matt clarifies that he's not apologizing. Sam finally shares what she feels and thinks he should at least apologize for breaking up her family. She points out how bad his big pushes are for people, but Matt is sure her dad is happier now. She feels he has learned nothing from his mistakes. He doesn't seem to understand there's a method of doing things. She hates that he takes big risks and doesn't care who gets hurt. Matt regrets what he did with Jo, but still thinks he did a favor to Dawn. He feels Dawn was living his life as a lie, but still claims to understand how she feels in this situation. Sam is sure Matt doesn't know what it's like to find out that she was a mistake. Sam tries to discuss last night with Jen, but Brianna calls her to her office. She reminds Sam that she has just one date left. She knows Sam is about to badmouth the guy, but asks if Millie is happy, and there's a connection. She approaches Sam as a friend, who has watched her being their top whisperer for years. She begs Sam not to mess this up and get out of her own way. Thankfully, Sam doesn't get the chance to share her thoughts about Wyatt. Matt assures Jo that Sam will turn up and is relieved when she approaches them. She asks Millie on call to ask Wyatt how he feels about another date. Matt brags about Sam doing all this for a living. Sam asks Jo to bump into her former employer Doug and spill coffee on herself. Jo doesn't want to spoil her blouse, but Sam knows she needs this to buy more. Sam explains that they want to establish a dynamic where he is at fault and she's the victim. Jo does what she is told, but Doug thinks she's there to get her job back. Sam asks her to claim she has already accepted a new one. Jo acts better than expected and dramatically taunts Doug for ruining her blouse. She has the attitude of a person who has a new offer and refuses to take the money he gives for the blouse. Sam asks her to turn around and keep him guessing about where she's working next. When Doug keeps pushing for details, Sam asks Jo to go big. Jo claims a big publication was waiting for her to get free, so they had a headhunter look for her. Doug is convinced and asks her to chat with him before she starts officially working somewhere else. At Dawn and Frankie's bachelor party, Sam is worried if Wyatt is the right guy for Millie. Jen finds it interesting that her focus has shifted from the bet to worrying about the client. Sam finally feels it might not be too bad to have Matt at the wedding. She is impressed that he set up the whole party for the grooms. He also compliments her on how good she was with Jo. Matt is convinced she's the best whisperer he knows. Sam feels it's much easier when love is not involved. He notices her hesitation and claims he wants to change the bet. If he wins, he wants her to talk to her dad. Matt reminds her that Dawn misses her because she's never present even if she's there at the functions. Everyone can feel that, and Matt thinks she has put up a barrier he wants to tear down. Sam gets irritated and asks Jen to take her home. She feels Matt can change his bet, but she still wants him out of the wedding if she wins. Jen also feels Matt has a point about her dad. Jen thinks the bet is stupid, but feels Sam should talk to her dad. She knows it won't fix their family like before, but it will help them get closer. Matt finds Sam setting up a picnic for Millie and Wyatt. He is glad she's still not mad at him. Sam admits she overreacted and knows he was trying to help. She doesn't want him out of the wedding anymore, and he also admits using her dad was unfair. They decide to bet on the loser buying the winner's wedding gifts instead. Millie is glad to have Matt back. He helps build her up while Sam helps guide her. She thinks they make a good team. Millie has realized she's very different from Wyatt and feels nervous. Sam knows there's always a risk in a new relationship. She remembers Matt's connection with risks and gives him permission for another one of his big pushes. This has a dramatic effect on Matt. who is ready to make a statement. He asks Millie to remember how her life changed after trying her favorite food. He compares her date to that and feels nerves are good for something better. Sam agrees she needs to kiss Wyatt because she knows it's working for them. Sam finally lets Matt share her earbuds, just so he can listen to the date. Wyatt feels Millie has prepared a perfect date. Matt knows Sam will think Wyatt is cheesy, but this time, she actually feels Wyatt sounds sincere. Millie starts getting nervous when Wyatt calls her perfect and starts hyperventilating. She doesn't want to lie anymore and throws her earbud. Sam knows this is when she needs to get closer to her rogue client. Millie admits she likes board games and has a Dungeons & Dragons character. She thinks she looks like a penguin while running and apologizes to Doors. She keeps listing the human names she has given to her cats and how she has a mouth guard. Wyatt is fine with all her quirks, till she admits she hired date whisperers to make him fall for her. She claims she was scared because he was so perfect and wanted to do it right. She can see Sam and Matt behind the tree and asks them to come out. Shocker, since it was such a perfect hiding space. Wyatt is hurt since he feels everything was a lie. Sam explains her process and insists they only help clients put out their best selves forward. Wyatt can't trust Millie anymore, so Matt brings out the big guns. He reminds Wyatt that Millie apologizes to the Doors. He knows she laid out her quirks for him because she likes him. He praises Sam as the best whisperer and knows Wyatt likes her too. He has a point, because Wyatt wouldn't have been listening to their madness if he didn't. Wyatt realizes Matt and Sam are right, and starts listing out his quirks too. Sam's face turns lopsided, but she remembers she's a professional. She asks Millie to go ahead without them, because she doesn't need them anymore. Matt feels Sam is a surgeon with her words, and knows exactly what to say. Sam also feels his big pushes finally worked for them. Sam has officially lost the bet, because they were supposed to exchange I love yous on this date. But Matt also knows Wyatt and Millie love each other, so it's a win-win situation. Sam admits he was right about her dad, and thanks him for pushing her to consider talking to him. He also apologizes for the way he trashed her company initially. He now knows they're making a genuine difference in people's lives. Jen brings donuts for Sam's client going rogue. Surprising gesture, but we're all for it. Brianna calls Sam to her office and congratulates her. She knows clients go rogue all the time, but she cares more about results. Millie has given Sam a 5-star review. This means Sam's job is safe, and Brianna feels she's back in her element. Sam thanks Brianna because helping people through this job means a lot to her. Brianna makes her an executive, so Jen brings another gift. It's the ugly kind of jacket Brianna wears, but at least Sam can be dressed like a boss. Sam finally feels ready for the rehearsal dinner, and Jen credits Matt for it. Sam agrees he's a good guy, and has helped her a lot. She still refuses to let romance be a part of her plan. Frankie and Dawn watch how happy Matt and Sam seem. Frankie recognizes his song with Matt and calls him to the dance floor. Dawn and Sam make fun of how freely they're dancing, and she asks Dawn to show them how it's done. Matt claims all these fashion elites at the party are making him nervous. He's even more nervous in front of Sam. He compliments her for being mean in a funny way, and thinks he's a better version of himself around her. He confesses his feelings for her, but Sam keeps trying to get out of the topic. Matt had assumed she was done hating romance after Millie and Wyatt. She still believes in their love, but doesn't think it applies in her life. Matt explains that he needed money for the ads, because his sister was going through a divorce. He's trying to help her, and thinks she always knew they were not good for each other. With everything getting so messy, he feels excited about meeting someone as frustrating and amazing as Sam. He thinks they make a good team because she challenges him. Sam knows they feel good now, but doesn't think it will last in 10 years. She is scared he will wake up one day and find someone better. She points at her dad's second wedding and knows love never lasts. Sam keeps assuring herself she did the right thing. She heads over to the patio to have pizza with her hands. At least something is going right. Dawn finds Frankie and Matt looking concerned about something. Sam isn't there yet, and Jen hasn't been able to reach her phone. Matt knows he can't go over to her place. Jen offers to, but Dawn thinks he needs to talk to her. Frankie promises to distract the guests while Dawn fulfills his duties as a great father. Sam wakes up to bird poop, and Dawn shouting out to her in his tuxedo. She feels bad about losing track of time. He explains that he's not at the wedding because she isn't. Frankie entertains everyone with stories of breakfast at Tiffany's. Can't blame them for losing patience, since it's too hot. Sam feels bad for ruining Dawn's events, but Dawn knows it's not a gay wedding without some drama. Sam admits she is scared of caring for someone and taking a chance. Dawn assures her that his divorce had nothing to do with her. He knows she wants someone to blame for it, but he doesn't think she should hide her heart forever. He admits that he was happy with their family, which is why her mom is still his best friend. He still loves her and assures her she shouldn't think that she's a mistake. Dawn thinks Sam is the best thing that happened to him, but she wonders why he was never honest with her. Dawn admits it took him a long time to figure out what he wants. He was happy with their perfect family and felt very lucky. He knew something was missing till he met Frankie through Matt. Dawn also assures her that Matt isn't capable of coming up with a master plan. He admits he was born this way, and Matt just helped him get the courage to accept who he is. She doesn't want to accept that Matt is a hero, but Dawn knows he is a good guy. He knows giving her heart to someone is scary, but feels Matt is a decent guy for her. He asks her to get ready soon, so they can reach the wedding on time. Frankie is still trying, and failing, to keep the audience engaged. When Matt announces that they're back, Sam apologizes to Frankie for ruining things, but he's glad she is there. When she addresses him as a dad, he's about to cry before the ceremony. Matt reminds them that everyone's making is melting. They begin the ceremony and start dancing after it. Sam stops the music to make a speech for Dawn. She wants everyone to know he has always led by example. He has taught her little tricks of how not to show you're clumsy or slip food to the dogs. He also taught her to be organized, so she was thrown off when he met Frankie and became carefree. She now realizes he was teaching her another life lesson. She addresses Matt and claims she's tired of playing safe. She wants to take a chance and hopes they get another shot. Matt thinks she's perfect and kisses her. She doesn't let him make another bet about how great he is and kisses him to distract him.